The views and opinions expressed by the On the Spot with David Rodgers show are solely based on the show's hosts, guests, and viewers. We are solely responsible for all show content in its entirety and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of any of our sponsors in any way.
It's going.
Yeah, you need to script.
Good Saturday evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to On the Spot with David Rodgers. Tonight sponsored by Southern Gem Photo Booth and Start. Not only do we bring fun to your event, we make it picture perfect. This is your show coming to you on Facebook and YouTube every Tuesday and Saturday night. You control and run this show. We are just the rudder that steers this big old vessel. We bring it to you first for education, discussion, and debate of local news, politics, and sports, as well as the latest on the COVID-19 situation. We have you covered from Middleburg to Melrose to McIntosh, from Lake City to Lake Butler, Lake Como, from Waldo to Williston, from Lawdy to Lulu, and all points in between, including Gainesville, Palaca, Ocala, and, of course, right here in beautiful Stark, Florida. Now, here's your on-the-spot team making it happen every single week. First, putting it all together behind the scenes is our executive producer, Super Dave Holland. Say hello, David.
Hello, everybody.
Rounding out the team is Austin Storm Chaser Stevens, which is in studio with us tonight, and John Better Than Snow Sproat, and our great media partners. Hey, here they are. WAG Eagle Country, 106.3 FM, Chuck and Mary Kramer, Lynn Velez, and the Bradford County Telegraph and their fine staff as well.
We may want to thank the Dragon Slayer, who's in control of the board back here, too.
Yeah, well, I think he may be coming up, Byron. I think he may be coming up. And to my left, you're right, here's our historian and governmental whiz, Byron, the Freedom Fighter Bagwell.
Good evening, infidels.
And I'm your host, David Rodgers, the Bradford High Tornadoes, and the
Show Pony.
Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. We are coming to you live from the On the Spot studios right here along historic Call Street in beautiful downtown Stark, Florida. Only 25 miles from Providence, Florida, recognized as the second oldest settlement in Florida after St. Augustine. How about that? We'll get into that here in a little bit. So let's get started, as we always do, with our prayer, our pledge, and our patriotic wisdom from the freedom fighter himself, Mr. Byron Bagwell. I'm going to ask Mr. Michael Heater, our director, to join in, as Mr. Mitchell Gunner is on special assignment tonight. He will be sitting in either until Mitchell gets back or for the rest of the show, and then Mitchell will be back with us on Tuesday. So, Mr. Michael Heater, come on and join in with us. And I'd like for you to go ahead and do the prayer, please.
Our righteous Heavenly Father, thank you for the opportunity we have to gather together again this evening to talk about things that are important to not just our team, but to everyone who tunes in. We thank you for the opportunity to be able to spread good cheer and good information. We thank you for the opportunity to serve our community as well as anyone who needs assistance in this. And we look forward to the opportunities to provide information and service in your name as we believe in you. We thank you for the opportunity to live in the greatest country in the world, the United States of America. And we thank you so much for the men and women of our U.S. Armed Forces, the greatest fighting forces in the United States and around the world. We appreciate the opportunities, that everything that you have given us. We thank you for the food that we have received for the nourishment of our bodies. We thank you for the opportunity to be able to assist in providing food to those in need. And we appreciate everything that is given to us. We ask for your blessings as we go through the show this evening. We ask that you bless everyone who tunes in the show and everyone in our great nation as we go through the weeks ahead into this trying time. We ask for all these things in your Son's name. Amen.
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 All right, let's stand for the pledge, please. And I'll lead us in the pledge tonight. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. All right. Now we have our patriotic wisdom from the freedom fighter himself, Mr. Bagwell. And I know we talked a little bit about this today. What do you have for us tonight?
Well, I have a pretty good one tonight.
You do. All right.
And unto one he gave 5 talents, and another 2, and to another 1, to every man according to his several abilities, and straightway took his journey. Then he received the 5 talents, went and traded them with the same, and made 5 other talents. This is guess where?
It's from the Bible. I do know that. I just don't know which one it is.
It's from Matthew is where it's from.
Okay.
It's part of Matthew 25:14 through 30. And we talk all the time about natural law and nature and God-given talents.
Right.
And I've said multiple times, God's going to give you a certain talent.
Yes.
It's up to you to go do what you need to do with this. Those whole entire Bible verses in between there about people who use their talents and who don't use their talents. It's up to you. You go figure out what you're best at doing and you do it, or you don't. Either way.
Thank you. That's a very good quote, Byron. Thank you very much for that. Before we delve into today's latest, we want to recognize our great sponsors that have been working hard with limited staff and changing hours. This is our sponsor spotlight. Fun Point Food and Arcade, Southern Gem Photography, Miracle Automotive and Recovery, and Dependable Waste Services.
Hey, let's not forget Williams Jewelry on Call Street, Brittany Leanne Creations,
And
Schuster and Savin Lofts, and of course, the Downtown Grill.
And Harry Business of Stark, Boogie Nights DJ Service, designed by Probes, and on-the-spot lawn maintenance.
And we're going to talk about on-the-spot lawn maintenance in a few. And now, here's your Quick and Dirty tonight, brought to you by Fun Point Food and Arcade and Start. Check out all the new menu on Facebook or www.funpointstart.com. FHP troopers say a 32-year-old man died while 2 other men and a child were injured after being struck by a passing vehicle on County Road 475 in Marion County. The persons were all in the same vehicle that had stopped to look at a flat tire around 8:50 p.m. last night. The investigation is continuing on. The Nassau County Sheriff's Office has announced their next Team Drive Challenge will be next Saturday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. at Yulee Middle School. More information and sign-ups are posted on the Nassau Sheriff's Facebook page. Marion County Sheriff detectives arrested Christopher Michael Del Russo for lewd and lascivious battery on a victim between the ages of 12 and 16. Detectives say Del Russo was having a sexual relationship with a 15-year-old victim. Their investigation revealed that Del Russo, who was employed by the Florida Highway Patrol, had met the victim during the course of his employment. Wow, Mike, anything to add to that, buddy?
Nothing really, other than the fact that the FHP is cooperating in the investigation, that the individual has been relieved of duty and pending the outcome.
The Putnam County Sheriff's Office reports that their police athletic league will be having 3 weeks of camp starting June 22nd in Interlochen and Crescent City. Due to safety precautions, only 50 campers are accepted at each site, and temperatures will be taken daily, ladies and gentlemen. Cost is $15 per camper per week and includes a camp t-shirt. Nice. Youth resource deputies will be at both camps, and breakfast and lunch is provided. For more information on this, contact the Putnam County Sheriff's Office at 386-329-1231. 3 sinkholes have opened up near Micanopy in Alachua County. One in the 1500 Southwest Wakahuta Road. You know where that's at, Bonnie? Yes, you do.
Yes, I do.
And 2 others off Southeast 175th Street. Repairs are underway, and traffic is being rerouted until the work is finished.
There went my shortcut.
Anything on that, Mike?
Yeah, but basically, this has been an ongoing effort, a continuation of some of the situation we've been dealing with a lot of the rain. And of course, Austin will be on just a moment to give us the latest update on that. But you're going to see more of this happen because the ground saturation, trees weakening, coming out of the ground, everything like that one. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see a few more of these opening up around the region.
Mike, Gainesville is famous for those, aren't they? Because I know we used to have an office there when I used to work at CMC over there across from the golf course right there. And I tell you, they were sitting on a big sinkhole. That's why they moved out of there. The building was about to sink in.
Well, you have to understand the entire region of North Florida basically is prone to sinkholes. I mean, when you think about Goldhead State Park, the ravine there is a sinkhole. You know, the Ravine State Gardens in Palatka is a sinkhole.
Yeah.
Millhopper, the Devil's Millhopper
in Gainesville
is a sinkhole. And all this is because you have certain areas of the top layer of the ground that collapses into the Florida aquifer, causing these sinkholes to develop. Sometimes it happens in rural areas. You may not even know about it. It affects roadways. Sometimes it takes in some homes, like you've seen down in Tampa. So, and the more rain we get, although that's not necessarily a definite precursor, I do believe that based on ground conditions, you will probably see some more of this happening before it's all said and done.
Well, we appreciate that, Mike. And now here's your weather update, sponsored by Austin's Weather Service out of Keystone Heights. Find AWS on Facebook for the latest information. And now I want to welcome you in, Mr. Austin Stephen himself. After about a month of hiatus, you've been doing some special progress. Welcome back, Austin. Give us the weather report.
All right. I am glad to be back. Thank you, Michael, for actually doing the weather stuff for me. I've been trying to keep up with the YouTube stuff and ending out the school year and doing other stuff involving Austin's Weather Service. Big plans coming for our hurricane season. Speaking of hurricane season, first off, I want to get off with that one. The Atlantic, Gulf of Mexico, and Caribbean Sea are quiet right now, but that is to be determined as we're still at the beginning of hurricane season. So if you do not have your hurricane plans, make sure you have a plan in case if you need to evacuate. You can go to Clay County's website or Bradford or any county for your evacuation zones. Now here's your local forecast for the next several days. Tonight, thunderstorms will clear out with lows in the upper 60s. Sunday through Tuesday, daytime highs in the mid to upper 80s with 50% chance of thunderstorms each afternoon. And out towards the southeast region of the United States, a front has stalled just through Florida and off the east coast of the U.S., causing a parade of rain of thunderstorms and showers that are coming through Florida and southern Georgia. That is what the precursor to the flash flood watch that is in effect till Sunday night. And back to you, David.
All right, thank you once again. This weather report brought to you by Austin's Weather Service out of Keystone Heights. Find AWS on Facebook and get a local report from Austin's Weather Service. Be sent right to you. We finally got it. Oh my goodness. Here we go. If Michael Heater he's great with coming up with these names. So we finally got it, and we now know who Mitchell's great-great-grandfather really is. Drum roll, please. And here we go. The American business magnate and philanthropist, John D. Rockefeller Gunter. Oh, boy. I think it doesn't. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. He may like that. You think he may like that one? I'll take Rockefeller, too.
Yeah, listen, he didn't take John Jay. I don't know if he'll take Rockefeller.
Yeah, he did take John Jay.
We'll keep working on it.
I keep on telling you, you got to find the germs.
We got.
Well, we can find that. And now filling in tonight with the local report is MGH, the Dragon Slayer. Brought to you tonight by Miracle Automotive and Recovery in Stark and McLean. When you have an automotive crisis, David, don't pray for a miracle. Call Miracle at 904-368-1114.
That's it. Hey, Dave, I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Mitchell is currently on assignment. Should be joining us later on. Looking forward to hearing what he has to say when he gets in. A couple quick things to talk about. Want to really hammer on the project that we have embraced over the last few weeks, and we're going to extend it through the month of June, which is our fundraiser for the Bradford Food Pantry. For those of you that are tuning in late or didn't know what was going on, last month David and company got a brilliant idea to give us all haircuts if we could raise enough money for the food pantry. Our goal was $10,000. We kind of broke that into segments here, so if we hit the $5,000 mark, Mr. Rodgers and I are going to lose some hair, and I'm going to lose the mustache. At $10,000, the cohorts in crime of Mr. Bagwell and Mr. Gunter will be joining us with that. And if we can get to $20,000, we're going to get rid of the 2-foot-long ponytail that our director, Super Dave Holland, has. At last count, with several avenues of fundraising that we are doing, we are at $3,400 with about 3 weeks left in our fundraising effort. I myself started a birthday fundraiser on Facebook this week. It's up to $300. So we're working on trying to do this one. I believe we've got a little bit of a check right here. This is from one of our great sponsors, the Schuster and Saban office. They came in with $500 right here. And we were very fortunate that Bob Milner, the vice president of the Bradford Food Pantry, stepped up and said, hey, the moment that you get money in hand, I'll match it. So Bob Milner is now on the hook for $500 in addition to everything else that he does. So with that, plus some additional donations that have come in, we are pushing $3,400. Our goal, of course, is $10,000. We'll be happy with $5,000, but every little bit helps. And Dave, I bring this up because there was one area that I really wanted to address this evening, if I may, and
Sure.
I'll be brief about it. Folks, for those of you that are big fans of the word-of-mouth groups around Bradford County and, of course, anywhere around the region, I was engaged with several individuals today to talk about the food pantry. Apparently, there's been a history a while back of some of the food not being as fresh as was expected, and these things happen. Food pantries they're not like your normal supermarket. You know, they get donations, and the cash donations buy food, but other people will donate food to them, and then of course they have to store it and everything like this one. Several people had made comments and concerns about that they had received previously bad food. Some of it was spoiled and this sort of thing like that one. So I want to address a couple of areas of concern with that one, if I may indulge in this one. And it's very simple. Understand that food pantries, again, because they're taking in donations, they usually strive for non-perishable donation type food. Obviously, bottled water and that sort of thing helps as well. But when you are dealing with fruits and vegetables, we have a limited shelf life. Bradford County, and the whole purpose for the fundraiser that we're working on, is because we're trying to get them better refrigeration, better prep areas, better cleaning areas, basically just to reinforce and to revitalize the structure that they're using that's over 70 years old. So I wanted to take a moment during the local report to let people know that when you hear us talking about fundraising, when you hear us talking about the work that goes into it, there's a reason for it. There's a cause that we're pushing for. There's the justification of knowing that what we are working towards is going to better the community and the people that need the help. I was very proud to be able to take 2 different loads of donations to the food pantry this past week on behalf of On the Spot. That we got some of them for some seniors, and then of course we had some other food that went in as well. So we're really excited about the fact that we're putting our money where our mouth is. We're not just saying, or hair as the case may be.
Right.
We're making our own personal donations, but we're also donating time. We're also donating foodstuffs. We're also putting out the money, and we want to get the word out here. But this project services 2 counties, Bradford and Union. And the folks that receive this are not always able to get to the grocery store. The other thing that's important about this is that, and we push for financial contributions, and this is the main reason why. If you're donating a BOGO, buy one, get one, whether you buy fruit and then you're going to give some fruit and, without proper refrigeration, the fruit may last a couple of days. Well, they give away food on Fridays. It happens that you're going to end up with a situation where you may not get the freshest fruit, or you may not get the freshest bread, or whatever it happens to be. But the financial contributions that are received by the food pantry, whether it's through the PayPal account that's on our On the Spot with David Rodgers page, if you're friends of mine and you want to make a donation through the birthday link that is on the page for this week, or anything like that, those financial contributions come together and then they go shopping. And then they buy the fresh fruit. They buy the fresh food, the milk, the needs for infants, whatever it happens to be. And they bring it in and deliver it to be distributed that day or the following morning. So this is what we're pushing for. Yeah, there are situations, especially in the past, where maybe it wasn't the best thing to receive. And I'm not knocking that. But the team that's in place now that they have organizing this one is second to none.
Yes.
Really, I mean, you got Betty Warren, Bob Milner, and the other lady whose name escapes me, and I apologize.
His wife, Bob Miller's wife.
Yeah, Carol was doing it as well,
yeah.
but then there's some other people and I've been up there, and when I've gone up and I've talked to them and that one, and you can see that they have a passion for it. Anyone knows me, knows I have a big passion in my life, and that is
Firefighting.
that's it. I mean, that's me. Okay, these people are there because they have a passion for it. They have a passion for helping others, and it just it feels good to know that you're doing something to help the community like this one. So when we make a big push and we're talking about things that are going on, this is what we want. We're not asking you to give up your food. We're not asking for anyone to do anything outrageous. We'll do the outrageous stuff. We'll lose the hair and everything like this one as part of our thing for July the 4th. And by the way, that'll be a great show on July the 4th, Saturday,
Yes,
July
it
4th.
will.
Make sure you join us because we're going to have a lot of fun with this one. But I wanted to take a moment to let everybody know where we were at. We're over halfway to the $5,000 goal, but we're only a third of the way to $10,000. And the building, by estimates from Bob and Carol and Betty and all them, is that they need $10,000 just to get the building into an acceptable level to be able to deliver a better level of service. And this only works with your help. And so for Bo and Linda and Wendy and a few of the other folks that I was communicating with earlier today, guys, this is for you. We understand, if you're going there, we want to make sure that you get the best you can get. And for anyone in the community that falls on hard times. And we understand that it's, this is considered a handout, but it's also a bit of a hand up. We want to just try to get you over this hump until things get better. There are people I've spoken to who have said, hey, absolutely. I was in between jobs. The food pantry literally saved my life while I was trying to get into another job. And that's the whole point of it, is that we're just simply trying to do something to kind of get this ship moving. As this guy here likes to say, folks, we're just a rudder, really. But if we can get this ship going in a way that really builds up the food pantry to a level that allows us to deliver a service that's at the top of its game, then I think we've accomplished something. And I just want to bring that to the attention of everyone like that. I appreciate the opportunity to
No, and I'm glad that you did that. With Mitchell Gunner not being here on the local report, I just wanted to add something into that, Michael, as well. You were talking about the finding the great people, Dave, that work down there. Bob Milner, the ex-chorus teacher. What's his name? You know what I'm talking about at the high school. Mr. and Mrs. Hardy.
Yeah.
Those guys.
Yeah,
Betty Warren. All those guys. I think that was the name that was escaping me.
I couldn't think
It
of
was
it.
escaping me,
Talking
too.
about Esther.
Yes, that was
Yeah, and they do a wonderful job down there, and we want to thank them for everything that they do. You got to remember, just like Michael said, they're working with what they have in hand. They're working with minimal things, to be honest with you, minimal billing requirements right now, trying to upgrade that building.
Sure.
So in saying that, I want to reach out. If any of our sponsors are watching right now, which I know a couple are, I would like to challenge you to donate. There's a nice little check for $500 if you can afford whatever you can afford. If you can afford $500, $1,000, whatever, $30, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
I challenge you to do what Schuster and Saban did here and send a $500 check. And like I said, every penny of this goes to them guys, and it's going to help the cause. Like I said, the hair is nothing. We're just doing this, to entice people. Hey, y'all want to see Michael and David without no hair? Of course. You want to see Mr. Bagwell without no hair? For sure. Yeah, and that's exactly. Oh yeah. So, but it's going to take the $10,000 range.
You said nobody ever said anything about Byron going bald.
I know. We did say Kruger, but this man did say bald. He did say bald in the stash.
Yep, he did.
I did.
No, there will be no baldness on me.
Yeah. So we're gonna get you low though.
I can show you that. It's not pretty.
Hey, we're gonna get you low.
I love you, Dad.
This won't be pretty either.
Hey, we're gonna get you low though, right? Of course.
2 or 3 guard.
There you go. There you go. There you
Square
go.
up in the back.
Square it up in the back. There you go.
Matched up the top. Yeah.
They will take care of it for us. But anyway, I
Yeah,
challenge you
it'll be
guys to
clean.
give to a great cause.
And the thing about it is that, we put this out here, and I think it's critical that we recognize some of the folks that have made some of the donations. Southern Gem photo booth.
Yes.
Megan Parmenter made a very generous donation like that one. Of course, Schuster and Saban have made a donation on that one. We've got other folks that have pledged to make donations. The folks that have logged in on and done something for my birthday, and I appreciate it. I mean, I've been surprised with a couple of things like that, but nothing makes me happier than saying, hey, you know what, for your birthday, we want to help the food pantry. If for no other reason, we just want to see you bald. I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly fine with that.
Sure.
So from me, personally, thank you. I appreciate it. And I know that the food pantry appreciates it, and I know that the people that receive from the food pantry appreciates it. And so, and again, to reinforce that, On the Spot with David Rodgers on our Facebook page, pinned to the top is the link to our PayPal donation site. If you don't have a PayPal account, that's okay. You can easily knock one out real fast and do it right off of a credit or a debit card. If you would like to mail us a check, send us a message on Facebook or send us an email, and we will give you the information on where you can make the donation to. We're accepting donations at Community State Bank here in Stark. Or if you would like to mail it, send us an email, and we'll tell you how to make a mail-in donation if you'd like to do that. Again, our email address is onthespot32091@gmail.com. That's onthespot32091@gmail.com, and we will give you the information that you need so that you can make the donation, because every little bit helps.
Yes, and I appreciate that, Michael, and thank you very much for that. Just got a couple of more things on the local end. Mr. Mitchell Gunner is on special assignment. He is at the Downtown Grill tonight. If you're not joining us, and you may be at the Downtown Grill, or you may be doing both, we have a candidate over there. Tell them who that candidate is over there, Michael, that's giving her little deal over there.
That's right. So this evening, Kat Kamek is joining the folks at the Downtown Grill for a town hall meeting, as it were. Kat is one of the people that's running for Ted Yoho's congressional seat. Another candidate that is going up against her is Gavin Rollins from Clay County. He's one of the Clay County commissioners. Gavin is actually committed to being on our show, as is Kat. So we have locked in the 23rd, which is a Tuesday, for Kat. The following Saturday, the 27th, will be Gavin Rollins. So we're going to have the two candidates close together so that you can tune in, spread the word, tell your friends and your family. If you live in this district and you live in this area and you'd like to hear from the candidates themselves, this is the time to spread the word and let them know about it. And for those of you that are running for other spots, whether it's Union County School Board or clerk's office, or it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to us. We want to hear from you because we are a portal that allows you to get your message out. We had a great time with Gordon Smith and enjoyed that one. We're going to have a great time with the candidates that are already signed up here, and there's still slots available as we go through the summer to give you the opportunity to speak to the constituents.
And remember,
I just wanted to say real quick, this is a great platform to actually have these town hall meetings.
Yes.
Because you can actually ask these candidates questions that you want to ask, and we'll get them to them, and they will answer them.
Right, and you'll be able to communicate just like like when you make comments here and we read them online. We will ask them the questions, and this is not limited to a conservative discussion either. We've invited all candidates. So if you're from the Democratic Party, Republican Party, Independent Party, Whig Party, whatever, Green Party, whatever, it doesn't matter to us.
Right.
But seriously, this is an opportunity for candidates to step out, and this is an opportunity for you to learn more about the candidates that you'll be voting on.
I think
this fall.
You're racist.
I would never do that.
No, he would never do that. I don't think. We're not getting into that yet.
Words?
Yeah.
The Whig Party.
Well, I was part of the Whig Party back in the day.
Wait.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I figured that y'all was going to get that. All right. And I hope the audience did too. But anyway, going on to some low. That was a good one. Hey, I love that. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway. Never underestimate what's going to come out.
No, and never underestimate the power of Google, because there are people going now.
Google.
What does that mean?
What does that mean? Yeah, exactly
It's
right.
all in good fun, but seriously,
Yes,
this
it
is
is.
not. Yeah, and again, I can say that to this man because we can banter back and forth on that one. For the same reason why that we invite candidates from regardless of the party affiliation to come on the show, because we enjoy the opportunity to meet people and to hear their point of view and to hear their platform. We want you to have that same opportunity.
And that's exactly right, Michael. I couldn't have said that any better. I've got a couple of other things that's going on this week. Of course, I know it's graduation week at Bradford, finally. And I've got some notes. Miss Shelley Rodgers does a fine job at the high school. Gave me some notes right here. On Tuesday, listen to this. Please, if you've got a child that's graduating this week, or if you're a teacher, or if you're a administrator and hadn't gotten these notes, here we go right here. Senior week starts Tuesday, June 16th. Senior awards in the auditorium at 6 p.m. Each student receives 4 yellow tickets for their family to attend. That is Senior Awards, Tuesday, June the 16th. Very important. Each student will receive 4 yellow tickets for their family to attend. Wednesday, June 17th is a mandatory practice at the gym in the stadium. You will meet up at 9 a.m. A cookout to follow at the track. Games and fun will happen as well. Wednesday night is baccalaureate at the auditorium at 6 p.m. Again, each student will receive 4 blue tickets for that event. Friday, on June the 19th, graduation at 8 p.m. at the stadium. All seniors must report to the gym by 6 p.m. They receive 2 white and 6 red tickets. All 8 tickets may be used at the stadium in the event of a rainout. Only white tickets will be allowed for the entry to the auditorium. So instead of 8 members coming from your family, it will only be able to be 2. That's correct. So, again, Shelley said this was very important. You must present a ticket for all these events. No exceptions, ladies and gentlemen. Kindergarten age and up need a ticket for these events that are going on. So if you plan on going to the Senior Awards or the baccalaureate or the graduation, make sure your student has given you your ticket so you'll be able to get in. No ticket, no entry. And I'm just putting it out here what they put out. I'm going to give this to Michael Heater. He can put that on our site, and you can go onto our On the Spot with David Rodgers site, and that will be on there. So please pass that to any senior parents that may not know. I know students are famous for this. I was famous for it too. Wouldn't tell my parents anything. Then they had to find out at the last minute, well, why didn't David tell me? Well, David knew for 3 weeks. Never said anything. So we're trying to get the information to you just as soon as possible.
We'll get it to you.
And also on Tuesday night, this Tuesday, because the following Tuesday we've got a date with Kat Kamek, but this Tuesday we will have Miss Chrissy Thompson on the show with us to talk about the Downtown Grill, the downtown business merchants, and everything that's going on in the downtown business area, and also to talk about her opening and what's coming down the future as we all are slipping right back in a little bit after this COVID-19 situation. Everybody's starting to get back into the groove of things, and Chrissy is going to tell us exactly what her plans are, and I already know one of those plans, and I'll go ahead and say it here, and she'll reiterate it. June 18th, next Thursday, or this coming Thursday, Trivia's back. Yes, it is. Trivia's back. I'm their trivia host down there, Mr. Byron Bagwell, Mr. Michael Heater when he's not working, and some others play down there. Absolutely. We will be having trivia back, and we will discuss that on Tuesday night. This coming Thursday.
This coming Thursday?
Yep. Already back.
Yeah. Oh, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So we'll let Chrissy.
The Kung Flu got Kung Flu.
Yes, it did, didn't it?
It's interesting because in addition to Chrissy's speaking on everything going on with the Downtown Merchants Association, we are anticipating, and I hope to have the update on the 100 overpass construction. So that will be included in this as well.
Yeah.
So we'll have a lot of information. It's going to be a packed show next Tuesday night as we go into the construction projects that's going on in the city of Stark, the redevelopment program that Chrissy's been talking about, as well as the upcoming events. It's going to be a good show next Tuesday. Make sure you tune in for it.
Yeah, and you're exactly right, because if we know Mitchell Gunner by now,
you know,
he'll delve into it. He's going to find it.
Oh, absolutely.
He'll definitely find it.
Absolutely.
So before we get started here into the national news, which we got a lot to discuss and a lot to get to, I want to welcome in some people. Austin Steve Horde is here joining us. Bart Norton, he's over in just outside of New Orleans. Bart, I want to wish him on for her to get better. I know that she's been battling some things there. We are praying for her to get a lot better. And you just come home, buddy. You stay there when you need to and come home when you need to. We've got this taken care of down here. Mr. Michael Heater actually helped me today We got a little railroaded, but hey, you know what? We made it work. We made it work. And now we've got a couple of things when you get home, Bart, to discuss, but we'll wait till you get home for that. Sarge is on. Say hello to Sarge.
Sarge. What's going on
Jamie
tonight?
Clemens is on, one of our sponsors, Dependable Waste. That's why I wanted to challenge Jamie. I actually seen Jamie at the store the other day. He says he's ready to give it up. So, Jamie, here's your first challenge.
There you go. That's it.
There you go. Josh Davies, one of our brothers at the Fantasy Football League, Barnyard Fantasy Football League's on.
Hey, Josh, good to see you.
Yeah, Joanne Harper's on. Hello. Dwight Allen, brother. What's up,
There
man?
he
Good
is.
evening, brother.
I'll tell you what. You got to work next Saturday, don't you?
I have to work next Saturday.
Well, me and Dwight Allen was talking a little bit last night after you talked to him about the thing.
What are we doing?
We need to go back to old Country Town Buffet. He said me and him was ready for some liver nuggets next Saturday.
And y'all are trying to make me fat. I don't have a problem with it, dude.
Hey, happy
You do that.
Saturday to you too,
Food was
darling.
good.
Jamie Clemens, as Americans, we are born with equal opportunity. How we use that opportunity does not guarantee us equal results.
That's exactly right.
Think about when someone talks about oppression. Make a change. Do something.
There you go.
Very good, Jamie. Absolutely. Kim Lee's watching.
Yep.
Let's see. Dwight is on there. Marie's on. Hello. Roy Jackson.
Darlene Eaton.
Darlene Eaton. Yeah.
Jerry.
Roy Jackson. David Kilgore. Jerry Feltner. Hello, Jerry.
Hey, Jerry. Good to see you.
Nancy Esford's on. Ashley Rayberg is on. Darlene Eaton. I have gotten blackberries from Walmart several times. In 3 days, they were moldy.
Yeah. See, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. Just because you're buying from a grocery store doesn't mean you're going to get the average freshest. That's the reason why we are pushing for this one, because we want everyone to have equal opportunity with this one. So we're excited about the opportunity.
Yeah, and Darlene, thank you. The food pantry thanks you too. She appreciates what they're doing.
Absolutely.
And now I do want to ask Darlene, which Dave? Are you talking about Dave Holland or are you talking about David Rodgers? Because either way, I'm not going bald. I'm gonna get a real low cut, but I'm not going bald. And if you're talking about Dave Holland, it's $20,000, and he's got to clip the ponytail. Yeah. It was the deal with him. Yeah. He's not going to get his hair cut or anything up top. It's just the cut of the ponytail. So specify what you're meaning there. Mark Udi, I know you've been in on this challenge right here as well. Waiting to see something from you, brother, right here. Put the date in the comments, please.
Yes.
Yes.
We are going to do that.
Yes.
Absolutely, yes. Again, if you want to make a note of it, we'll as soon as I get online, we'll do it. The 23rd, Tuesday night for Cat Kamek. The following Saturday, which will be the 27th, I believe, will be Gavin Rollins. We'll be broadcasting from their location of choice, probably from their home, like we did with the sheriff, whatever like that. But yes, the 23rd, 27th, for those two candidates, other candidates, email us and we'll get you into the schedule as well.
Thank you for joining us, Mr. Terry Vaughn.
Supervisor of elections.
Supervisor of Elections.
And right behind him is our superintendent of schools. Say hello, everybody, to Stacy Creighton. Hey, got an invite. Hey, all you got to do is contact any one of us. You can call me, whatever you want to do. You'll get a chance to do a little town hall thing if you want. Just give us a call. Slots are filling up, Michael.
They
But
are
you can,
filling up,
yeah, you can do it any day that you want. We suggest Tuesdays and Saturdays.
Yeah, I mean-
That's our show dates. But you can do it any day that you want, and we'll come to your venue, whatever that venue is, and we'll put that together for you. So, Stacy, get a hold of me if you want to do some kind of town hall or platform for your campaign, especially Michael and Byron with these primaries coming up in August.
Yeah, and that
Does it give you?
Yeah.
You're not.
No.
That's where your voting precinct is.
No, no.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
All right,
So
there you go.
your time is running out, and again, give us a call, send us a message on Facebook, or again, send us an email if you'd like to go ahead and lock in your spot. It's on the spot 32091@gmail.com.
Thank you, Michael. Was that a little press on?
That's it.
Was that a little press on?
That little press
You're
on.
fired.
Yeah, director, move on.
No, director, fired. That's what happens with it. Okay, come on back in, Mike. That's awesome. Events and graduation. Yes, we were talking about that. It surely is. We've been wanting to do something for these seniors, and thank God we're able to. Yes, we love Chrissy as well. Lisa Thomason, thank you for joining us.
John
Liver and
Lester.
onions and
John
Lisa
Lester was watching too.
Oh, hey, John.
Okay, John. All right.
Lisa Thomas Moody.
Oh boy. Yes, Darlene. I figured no, it's not bald. It's going to be a low cut.
It'll be
Yes, they're talking about me. Yes, it's going to be it's going to be real low.
Navy.
This one here, the director is going bald.
I said I would go bald.
Yeah.
I did say that.
Yeah.
I didn't intend to, but since I said it, that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, and he's a man of his word.
We're losing everything from here up. The mustache, I'm keeping the eyebrows. I'm keeping the eyebrows.
Oh, yes, you are.
I'm
That's right.
keeping the eyebrows.
Yeah,
Let me
keep it covered.
clarify that. But yes, the hair, the mustache, all gone. You know you want to laugh at me. You know you want to see it. Make a donation. We'll make it happen.
All right, and one other thing, I just want to thank Mr. Michael Heater this morning with all the everything that he does in the hours that he puts in. I actually called Byron. Byron was on the call today. Dave's got a shop to run. Michael happened to be off today, one of his few days off. Wow. And I called him up yesterday, not a hesitation. Yep, David, what time? You just quote the time in there and I'll be there. Had a church mode because Mr. Barton, we just told you his mother's sick. We want her to get better. Michael Heater popped right up to the spot. And I tell you what, everything was going great. Michael's weed-eating man. He's doing the thing. David gets up on the Tiger Cat, turns that thing over, and I'm like, oh, here we go. Me and Michael spent about an hour, right, Mike? By the time we did everything, a little about an hour or so before we was able to transfer mowers because I knew the paper would run. We just had to jump it off with the truck. So me and Michael pulled this thing off, pushed this thing back on, but we got it done. That place was sloppy wet, but they were very appreciative. Mike actually talked to the pastor, Mr. Dak over there, and his wife. They were very appreciative of what we done. Good. We probably didn't. We only probably cut 3/4 of it. Byron, the rest of it is just you can see underwater.
Oh, you're talking about Providence.
Yeah, talking about Providence as well. So, but anyway, I want to thank Mr. Michael Heater for stepping in and helping me out. That's what friends are for, and that's what this show is for. We can pick on each other and play, but at the end of the day, we're all brothers. We're a band of brothers, and that's the way it is. Right here, right, gentlemen? That's exactly right. Put it right here. Even Mr. Austin Stevens back there, we are the band of brothers right here. So, getting in now with after the local report, that's all we had right now. Unless Mr. Mitchell Gunner comes in at some point. And now, with the national report, here's the freedom fighter himself, Mr. Byron Bagwell. Tonight, brought to you by Saban and Schuster Law Firm in Jacksonville, Florida. Gave us a nice donation. You can visit them online at www.piplaw.com. Mr. Byron Bagwell, are you ready?
Yeah.
We've got a lot of things to discuss. Michael Heater, Dave Holland, Mr. Bagwell. Oh, yes. We've been talking and talking and talking. And unless you've been living on Neptune, you know what's going on around here, around this great country of ours right now.
I'm just glad you said Neptune and not another neighboring.
Well, yeah. Well, anyway. By the way, moving on, we're the BTM club, by the way, too. Yeah. You want me to say it, don't you?
No, you're not.
No, I'm not. Anyway.
No, you're not.
Mr. Bagwell, we talked about what are we starting off with tonight on the national report?
Once again, I am left off for the fourth night in a row doing my peaceful protest.
Yes. What is your peaceful protest?
Haven't looted, haven't burnt anything. Yeah. Haven't offended anybody. At least I don't think I haven't offended anybody. And if I did, I don't care. Quite frankly, about this one. I am wearing a shirt. Once again, it says 22.
Yeah.
Does anybody out there,
besides us,
besides you guys, know what the 22 says? I know you can't read the rest of it.
Let's see if the comments start flowing here, my brother. I don't see any yet. But anyway, the 22, and I'll let him explain because this is his segment.
It says 22 a day, veteran lives matters.
Yes.
That's the number of veterans that die a day from things like PTSD. And we glorify other things, and we have 22 people who have served our country every day passing away. Not a word is said about it. And it's a shame.
Yes, it is.
Because these are people of all races that are American heroes. They come back from war and have problems. Or just have problems, period.
And as veterans, me and Dave, and if y'all gentlemen would have went, y'all would have been veterans, but I can see you just consider you veterans.
Sure.
You love this country just as much as any veteran has served. Mr. Donald Stevens back there, we pride ourselves in this country and serving this country. And this 22 right here that Mr. Bagwell's wearing,
The last 4 shows.
22 too many, Byron.
Yep. One's too many.
Yep.
It's true. And
22 too many.
yeah, and
That's not a week.
No, that's a day.
That's a day.
yeah, and it's important to note that the PTSD is one of the most critical medical issues that we're facing right now because, and I mentioned this during the Quick and Dirty, I think it was a week and a half ago, that COVID-19 is a major issue, and I'm not downplaying that, I'm not minimizing that at all. But folks, in Tennessee, the number of suicides is outpacing the number of COVID deaths. That should tell you something, and that's not just limited to Tennessee. That's nationwide epidemic.
Yes. I do want to welcome in a couple of guests. Jeremy Nogle, owner of Florida Grass Cutters. How about Vincent D. Tucker? You haven't heard from Vincent in a while. Yeah, good evening from Arizona. And his show, his show got canceled last week. Did you know that, Byron? Did you see that? Yeah, they had some difficulties. So his show got canceled. But you can catch Z and Tuck and Z, however you want to do it, on Thursday nights, 10:30 our time.
Yeah.
7:30 out there, or is it 9:30 out there? It's 9:30 out there.
No, it's
9:30 our time, right, Mike?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
3 hours ahead. We're 3 hours ahead.
We're 3 hours ahead.
I thought it was 2.
I thought it was 2 too.
No, they're
Maybe,
is he in the Mountain Time Zone or the Pacific?
I think he's in the mountain.
Then we're 2 hours ahead.
Okay,
That means
so
9:30.
9:30
Here.
Yeah.
Eastern time.
Yeah.
Is when that show
7:30.
starts.
And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, catch that show. They got a really good product.
It is a good show.
It is a good show, and I've watched it a couple of times, and I'd like to try to get on. My problem is, Byron, I fall asleep. So Vince is just going to give me a call and tell me he's on. But anyway, Dwight's trying to explain to Darlene where the liver and onions are.
Yeah.
So Darlene knows what number 22 is. She just put it, number 22. So anyway, going on to you there, Byron.
It's something that needs to be discussed, and it needs to be seriously discussed. The VA is good in one way, but it's bad in another way. There is literally nothing that our government truly does right when it comes to anything but basically make war.
Right.
And they sure haven't been the greatest in taking care of our veterans.
No.
It's gotten better.
Has.
The reform that's happened in the last 4 years has made it get better. Sure. But it still needs to be worked on because 22 people a day, 22 veterans a day is too many.
Yes,
It's
it is.
too many. And I've heard recently that the statistics actually show it's not 22, it's actually 23 now. So that's even worse. But guys, just think about them. If you get a chance to help a veteran, help a veteran.
Yeah, and that's an important part here is because the natural presumption, and I hate to say this because my father was a veteran, a lifelong military member. My dad was a Marine, honorably discharged, retired, spent 6 months or so as a civilian, and said on that, went back to the military and did another few tours overseas. And the thing about it is, and this is, I have learned this, unfortunately I learned this a little bit too late. I wish I had known this sooner. But if you know of a veteran, and veterans like Steven's over there, John sitting right here, Dave, we cut up when we have fun here, but you don't know what's going on back behind the scenes. What's going on in the mind and in the heart, and it's very easy for us to kind of put that aside, out of sight, out of mind. So if you know a veteran, you're familiar with somebody like that one, reach out to them, check on them, let them feel that you care, let them know that there's someone that's there for them. Doesn't mean that you've got to sit here, take them under your wing, and do something.
No, don't push.
Don't push it, but let them know
Don't push.
that there's somebody here that cares for them and cares for what they did in the service of our country, and that in and of itself, I believe, will help lower some of those numbers.
Hey, Byron,
Yeah.
question to you.
Hmm?
They took a survey about some veterans. Donald, you may know this one. And you're talking about losing 22 a day, and Michael said helping out a veteran.
Mm-hmm.
What was the most key word that a veteran is looking from the regular civilian? They and it starts with an A. I'll give you that much.
the word that they're looking.
In other words, what did the veterans say that they would like to hear from the civilian population? The one word.
One word. I bet you I know it.
A. It begins with an A.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Acceptance, but there's one other that's even above that. Appreciation.
Appreciation. Yeah. Well, that makes sense.
Appreciation is the number one key they're looking for. Just appreciate. You know what I mean? You don't have
Every
to.
time, David.
Yeah,
Every time I see somebody with a military hat on.
Yes.
Or in a
You always, man, I even do it.
thank you for your service.
Yeah.
I thank for service. I thank police. I thank EMS. All personal.
Yeah.
Yep. Every single group.
Buddy check. Call your friends. You may not have served with them, but if you know someone who served,
Buddy checks are
call. Hey, how
Call.
you doing?
Yeah.
Yep.
You're right, Michael. Who said 3 hours? I thought it was mountain time, but he did. Vincent said it's 3 hours.
It's 3 hours, I think.
So it's 3 hours. So 10:30.
10:30.
You'll be 10:30 here, 7:30 out there. Tuck and Z, watch them. Z and Tuck. Hey, I know they go by Tuck and Z, I think. But anyway, it's a great show. Same format that we do. Those two gentlemen do a fine job. Dwight Allen said, here we go, Byron, one for you. Sad that a career criminal killed by a bad cop gets 7 funerals, a gold casket, and covered by every news outlet in the country. But our soldiers who died for our freedom gets a flag. Something's wrong with that. Mr. Dwight Allen, I'll buy your liver and onions next week.
Well,
that comment.
I will tell you this, Dwight. You're right. You're absolutely right.
You're right.
Everything is great with the exception of that last part of it, because that means a whole heck of a lot more to most people who served than any gold casket or any parade or anything else would ever count for.
Yeah. I think that there's a certain logic to what you're saying because and it extends beyond that one. My father, who's been gone 4 years now. Give me a second.
Take your time.
I can't.
No,
mention
take your
it
time.
without- I
Take
can't
your
mention it
time,
without getting
because-
caught up here. But
No.
I mean, Dad flew the flag. I have the flag that draped his casket, and that flag meant the world to me. Literally. And I fly a flag in my yard proudly. And I think that's a key thing for people to recognize is that it is in some cases with veterans, it's patriotism, but it's almost a spiritual kind of thing. And I'm not trying to push the whole religious aspect of it like that one, but when you give your heart, your soul, and in many cases your life to a cause as good and as noble as the United States of America, that flag does carry something. So Dwight, I agree with you on that one, but I think that to say that they only get a flag, no, I think that they're proud to get that flag. I think it makes them feel better with the appreciation and the acceptance of it. But never underestimate the power of the red, white, and blue.
All y'all have been to a military funeral, right? All y'all have.
Yeah.
Donald,
I've carried.
Byron, Dave. Let me tell you what gives me goosebumps. Boom! That salute.
I've got.
Oh my gosh, I get just chills, man. It just I don't know what it feels. It feels like I'm getting shot by I just got that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it just gives you that, man, that alive, and but also as sad at one time. It brings out, I guess, all the emotions in you, Byron, maybe. There's nothing like it, like you said, and like Michael said, and Byron said. That flag does mean something.
I've seen what Dwight's talking about.
I mean, as well,
fully where that's coming from.
Yeah.
But the more I kept on looking at people saying that, the more I thought, to these people, literally, that flag means more to them than a gold casket, or the parades, or all the media coverage and everything else. It should. It really should.
And
and by the way, if you don't, I'm not going to read this list off, but you might want to go check Mr. Floyd's record and look at the charges on it and then decide if all of that was worth it. Now, man didn't deserve to be killed, but he was no saint.
Yeah. And Byron, I was going to read off those, but I'm going to wait till Tuesday's show to
Are
do
you
that.
talking about the charges? On
Oh,
there?
yeah.
You really want to do that?
Well, I was going to do it Tuesday. I'm going to do it Tuesday.
You're going to do that Tuesday?
Yeah, we'll do that.
I don't need to look at anything. I already know what they are.
Yeah.
I've seen them 1,400
But
times.
I just want our viewing audience to know if they haven't, which I'm sure they already do know. But anyway, Darlene, we're going to talk about that. Mr. Bagwell's going to get into that a little bit. She says, I'm waking up this year. Yeah, 2020, you better wake up. And we're already halfway through this year. And if you think this is the end of it, this isn't even the end of it right now. There's other things coming down the pike, I do believe.
I know Dwight.
Yeah.
Before, I didn't mean to cut you off. I know Dwight. I know. I've seen that comment a bunch, and I know you never disrespect a veteran or the flag.
Oh, I didn't see that. So I'll get to that.
Wasn't trying to diminish the flag or our vets.
No. And we
Oh,
understand
no,
you.
no, not at all.
I
Not at
know,
all.
brother.
Yeah,
We got you, brother. We got you back.
Absolutely.
Jason says, you got to check for your brothers and sisters that are vets. You have to. Absolutely. Vincent Tucker, I'm also an admin for a suicide prevention group on Facebook for first responders and our troops. It's called Set Condition Red. PTSD and depression affect a lot of our service people. Reach out and keep life. So, absolutely, we'll keep pressing that to Vincent Tucker so people will get on your show and follow you on Facebook, and you can give more information out on that. Jeff Riggins, who I work with, is on today. Hello. Miss Shirley Bagwell. Hello there.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, Mom. Yep. Byron already told me, yes, I would more than glad to take that, and I don't know where I got it. Darlene Eaton, liver and onions must be at the Downtown Grill, advertising for you, Chrissy, Ricky Thompson. Actually, Darlene, I don't think they do. I don't think she has liver and onions.
I don't
Not
think
that I
so.
know of.
No, I'll have to ask her. I don't think so.
I've never seen her do
No.
that.
Old Time Country Buffet is the only place, and then Granny's. Granny's is the other. Stacy Aldridge is on. She says hello there.
Hello.
Shirley's on. Yep. Darlene, got to go. It's been fun. Sorry, Darlene. I know you probably got to work. I wasn't. Brother, much love right here for you, brother. Hey, I can tell you this right now. I'm going to hug your neck, and I got your liver and onions next week, by the way. So don't you worry about that. We know where Dwight was going with that. So
I
know exactly where he was going.
I know where he's going with that. We might have to go back and take a trailer with us this time.
Tammy Testone. Tell her, say, hey, Albie.
Hey, Albie.
There you go. Vincent Tucker, he listed a Facebook page, ladies and gentlemen, right here. www.facebook.com groups / set condition red. So we'll put that on our page as well.
Absolutely. We'll share it. Yep.
Liver and onions at the Downtown Grill. Dwight Allen says, nope. You're right, Dwight.
Y'all keep
Shirley
on doing
Pitts-
that, and I will eat all of that fried chicken and
That's
all
fine.
of those fresh vegetables.
That's no problem.
Oh,
We're just
And I
going to
think
keep
I'm
it
going to try
coming.
the barbecue this time because there's barbecue on that too. There was ribs and smoked pork by it. Ooh.
Shirley Vinska's watching. Vincent Tucker, our show here in Arizona is Hot Topics with Z and Tuck. And you can catch it on www.facebook.com / Hot Topics Z Tuck. There you go. And it is a good show. Donald Steve is watching. Jeff Riggins. Yeah, whatever.
Can't comment.
There you go.
Damn, Dave, what did he say? Something here. What did Mr. Riggins say? I can't even get it up right
I
now.
will be.
Something. So, can I need to borrow this? Yes, please. Yeah, I need to borrow it for just a little bit. So what did he say? I will be watching?
I guess.
Okay, whatever.
Something close.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Byron. I didn't mean to interrupt. We were just trying to catch up the comments, man. We got a lot to talk about. Let's, bam, Seattle.
Hold on.
Oh, I got to go back.
Oh,
Sorry.
we'll just back up just a bit.
Oh, just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
All right.
I'm going to get your opinion
All
on
right,
this.
hang on a minute. All right.
I'm going to get your opinion on this.
All right.
Then I'm going to get Mr. Heater's opinion
All
on
right.
this. And I'm going to go over here today and get
All
his
right.
opinion on it.
All right.
I'm probably even going to ask Mr. Stevens, who's in the studio with us.
All right.
And I'm going to ask everybody else's opinion on this too. When you have a force that takes over a part of a country, what is that?
That is Domestic terrorism act.
No.
Okay, what are you talking? What are you talking?
Just a force that comes into a country and takes over part of that country. What is that called?
Invasion.
That is called.
Yep.
Say
What?
it again?
Invasion.
Invasion.
Invasion. That's it.
So we have BLM and Antifa that has decided to invade where?
America.
Seattle and the Capitol building in Seattle.
Yeah, they've taken over the Capitol building.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Turn-
police department.
And the police department and turned it into their own little country. Am I the only one that seems to see a problem with this?
No.
No.
Well, I will say that you're not the only person, but I know that you don't share the opinion of the mayor of Seattle nor the governor of Washington.
That's not a mayor. And that's not
I'm just saying.
Well, that's the title. That's the title.
No. That is not a mayor, and that is not a governor. Mayors and governors protect their people from an enemy invading their state.
Agreed.
Now, there's only one answer to that.
Starts with a T.
They're not enemies of the people who are in office.
Nope.
So, guess what?
That.
We have an invading force inside of the United States of America that part of our government has let in. Do you know what that makes them? That makes them duplicit.
Yes.
And actually, the treason word applies here because this group has declared war on America by its actions.
And from what I understand, they're also invading the protest.
Oh, sure they are. But what they've done is they've gone from rioting and basically murdering American citizens who don't agree with them to actually taking over, occupying American government buildings.
Here's what I find humorous about this, though. And Byron and I were speaking about this earlier. So, and maybe it's just me.
Get that off my chest.
But here's the thing about it. Now, we're, 4 days, 5 days, however long we're into it. Wait, you know where I'm going with this. All of a sudden, this utopian concept that they have of no police and no government and no this, no that. And now they're saying, well, when we invited all those homeless people in here and they stole all our food, so now we need handouts.
Yeah.
So now they're asking for the federal government to, would you please bring us this and this and this and this? I think I could speak collectively for the rest of the United States, and we go, no. You want to be your own little, whatever you want to call yourselves, little insurrection, your little occupation or that. Fend for yourselves. If it was up to me, I'd kill the power to the city and just run you out of town. But hey, I'm not the one in charge. That's just my opinion. Take it for what it's worth.
We all took an oath as service members. I'm sorry. We all took an oath to protect this country from foreign and domestic. I don't care how y'all spin it, and I don't care what you call it. They are domestic terrorists.
That's exactly right.
This is a domestic terrorist act on domestic soil, and by all rights, according to the oath that me and Mr. Holland, Mr. Stevens, Mr. Bagwell, Mr. Heater's father took, technically, we should be going in there, if you really want to know, and taking this place over by what? Military force. I know people ain't going to like that coming from me.
It wouldn't take much.
No, it would not take much.
Because apparently they're hungry.
So,
Dave, seriously, I'm gonna start with David here with this. What would you do?
what would I do?
What would you do?
Okay, here's what I
I'll
would do.
share a little bit about what I would do, and then we'll talk to some other people about what they would do.
All right.
What would you do?
Here's what I would do. We know this is an act of domestic terrorism, no matter how you spin it. They've taken over a Capitol building in a capital city in one of the 50 U.S. states, correct? Which is part of this union.
That is correct.
All right. This is what I would do. I would take some kind of sound speaker, surround sound, some kind of bullhorn or whatever, and I would put this thing on a loop and say, you have 4 hours to get out of that building. And after 4 hours, And I'll keep it on this loop so everybody hears. So now the media, you think, oh, the media's going to spin this on us, right? Okay. Well, the media's going to be front and center watching this. Everybody's going to have their social media on watching this, right? Video and pictures don't lie, correct? They're not supposed to, right?
Not supposed to.
They're not supposed to. And after that fourth hour's over, the people that aren't out, we're coming to get you, and we're going to remove you out. Permanently. Oh, and by the way, no, you don't get to go home to mom and daddy. As soon as you come out, you're getting charges of treason, seditious conspiracy, extortion, and every other thing else that we can throw at you. You're not going home to mom and dad. You're going to prison. That's where you're going. You're going to go to prison, and you're going to do a lot of prison time for that act that you took upon this country. That's the way I would handle it.
That's a good way to handle it. Vincent Tucker, you're absolutely right. They have declared war by taking U.S. territory, and President Trump wants to activate the military. They can go in there with deadly force if need be. You're absolutely right. They have declared war on the United States. Yeah, they have actually taken American soil. And I want people out there to think about what that says. Do you know the last foreign body, and they're a foreign body now that took American soil? Can anybody in the audience tell me who it was? David, do you know who it was?
Think.
On American soil.
American soil, the last. Let me think a minute here. Any other?
British.
Okay.
War of 1812.
Well. Okay.
Not the War of 1812. Literally the War of 1812. That took American soil. Not the last group that attacked American soil, but the last group to take American soil. Now, they've done this because of their little BLM protesting about this person being murdered while they're looting, rioting, and burning, killing black police officers. By the way, they killed a retired commander whose funeral was just the other day. Really sad. Man had grandchildren, was a cherished member of society. And they want to wear that moniker of Black Lives Matters. I don't think any life matters to them. I think they're not anarchists. They're communists, is what they are, or Marxists, because they're trying to bring about a communist revolution right along with Antifa. You know how I would handle it?
Just go in and do it now.
I wouldn't tell anybody anything at all. I wouldn't tell the press anything at all. I wouldn't tell that governor anything at all. I'd send 3 SEAL units in there.
Yeah.
And nobody walked out.
Yep.
Period. Nobody walks out. And then they just disappear into the night.
David, we know some of them bad boys.
And when the media catches on that everybody is dead inside of our place,
Communism failed.
I'm going to go, I don't know. I don't know anything about it.
I would probably look at it in a slightly different perspective because of my background. Because I know that this Chaz zone, whatever they want to call themselves, I know that there are homes and there are people that are literally stuck in this area.
That's why you send in SEAL teams.
Right. So I would, again, I'd start off with, I'd give them the time. I agree with SEAL. But I'd bait them a little bit first. You like the whole idea of socialist communism type thing like that one? Then by golly, we're going to hook you up. We're going to shut off the electricity. You want to have walls? No problem. We're going to reinforce it. You asking for food? I think we can probably scrounge up some day old bread and water for you. Gasoline's going to run out. We'll be happy to get you some gasoline. Yeah. But we're going to ration it, so it's going to cost you about $18 a gallon. You enjoyed this sort of thing. We're going to give you a good taste of it. And then when you get to the point where you're going to keep arguing and carrying on about this sort of thing, and you don't want to wear yourself down and realize how stupid you are, the next morning, we'll read about it in the paper. But I would give them the opportunity. You want to live in a socialist area, a communist area like that one? We're going to show you just how well this works. No electricity, no fuel, no food, no. Listen, we can hook you up.
I'll hook him up with some ghost peppers.
There you go. Yeah, that would be all right.
I'll hook him up with some ghost peppers
Yeah.
and some barley wine for them. See how much they like that. There you go. That's the only thing you're getting.
Well, what's our federal government doing about this?
I don't want to know. I do not want to know. I want to see them disappear in the night. That's all I'm saying about that. The news media gets a hold of it and goes crazy after it happens. My response to that is going to be, you're a traitor too, and you're backing them, and it's your turn next.
Yeah.
They've invaded American soil, and anybody that backs this is a traitor to this country. Period. I've said things in anger before that were just anger, but I am telling you now, these people are traitors to their own nation. They have declared war on this country, and they need to be treated like treasonous pieces of garbage that they are.
What is missing in America? Accountability.
Gallows on the White House lawn. That's what's missing in America right now.
What do you think would
Every
happen,
single one of them.
Michael, David, Byron, if this was back in our founding forefathers' days?
Our founding fathers would have,
Look at Michael's face. I just see this face
our
going.
founding fathers would have stopped this at the riots in Minnesota. Our founding fathers would have gone in there and killed everybody that was doing that.
They had to wipe the floor with them.
And if you don't think that's true, take a look at what Washington did during the Whiskey Rebellion. All you got to do is look up Whiskey Rebellion.
Well, see, everybody says, what did George... Yeah, you remember we talked about that. Oh, well, George Washington was... yeah.
George Washington took the United States troops and went and put down a rebellion.
Yes, they did.
It was called the Whiskey Rebellion.
That's right. And,
Don't know about that? Look it up.
Yeah.
It actually happened.
and folks, this goes right back to what we have said on this show before. Those that refuse to learn or don't pay attention to history are doomed to repeat it. I'm telling you, you learn some real history, not the propaganda. The real history about the United States, you'll realize why this passion is the way it is.
I'm telling you right now, I am so completely and utterly through with anything that says BLM. You have actually committed an act of treason. Anybody that goes along with that and wants to do that, you should be held accountable for it too, because you have taken over American soil. You should be shot.
This is, Byron, this is no different, and Michael, this is no different than, I'll use ISIS. ISIS
This is
taking
way, no,
over.
No. This is way different than ISIS, and I'll tell you why, Dave.
No. Let me
I'm sorry.
No.
Good.
They are different.
Good.
I'm talking on the same same level.
Same level. I got you. I got what you're saying.
This is like ISIS taking over the embassy in London, wherever you want to say.
Kuwait, whatever.
Yeah, Kuwait. What is that called? That's called
Occupation.
right, which is called
An act of war.
yes, but why?
Because you've taken over another country's area.
That's right,
And what
that's
you're
a
doing,
foreign terrorist act.
Well, you may say these are American citizens, but they're usurping their government.
And that is dedicated American soil. A U.S. embassy is. Any embassy is that particular embassy nation's soil.
That's correct.
So, that's a foreign act of terrorism. What you're doing here within country, that's domestic terrorism. Let me go back and tell you about some idiots back in 90, was it 90? When did they do that?
Are you talking about the
Oklahoma City bombings. That right there, too, was an act of domestic terrorism.
Well, yeah.
And
Take a look at Bill
So-
Ayers and Vanity Norman and Weather Underground.
Right.
You know, Barack Obama's
Yeah.
friends. And I'm driving that in the ground because I've said it twice and I don't really care anymore. Because guess what? This makes me awful mighty suspicious of anything that went on in the last 8 years because of his connections to all of this.
Yep. So, Dave, Byron, you've heard Michael. How would you handle it?
Man, I'd get my biker buddies and
Is that right? Speaking of that, can I say something about those guys?
fill it in, brother.
Well, Mr. Donald Stevens was reeling me in, man, on dry land. He had a big guy, 250 pounds, reeling him in when he sent me something that said that the Hells Angels and the Mongols had put aside their differences for a little while
Yeah.
and are heading to Seattle to take care of this.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
My
Look
question.
at Donald Stevenson. You had me excited, brother.
Yeah, well, you had both of us
Yes,
laughing.
we did.
As
And
I
we
was
was
sitting there
hoping
going,
it was true.
oh my God, just leave them alone. Let them do what they want to do.
Yeah.
Just leave them alone. If
Yeah.
they try to stop them, I'm going to get real mad. Don't you?
They've had the response too.
Do what?
The public is saying, yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
The public's saying, yeah, go ahead.
Go.
The video that you're seeing on the internet is an old video. It's
Yeah.
not related to what's
Okay.
happening now.
I said this a couple days ago. I said it again this evening. I'll say it again. If all that were to happen, take my advice. Go buy stock in Orville Redenbacher or any other popcorn manufacturer, because, buddy, that's going to be a show you're going to want to get some popcorn and sit back and watch.
You ain't kidding, brother. And I'll be honest with you, Mike, before you finish that first bag, I think it'll be taken care of.
Yeah, you're probably right about that.
It may last a little bit longer than that because that's a pretty big building, but it wouldn't last much.
Yeah, no, not much longer than
You know,
that. Here would be the
Look.
aftermath of that, and me and Byron talked about this, is if they did take it over, would they be willing to give it back to the city of Seattle? I mean, once you take, what's the old, hey, I'm the king of the hill. Now, right? I've done got rid of them. Now, that would be the thing. Would they give it back? Yes.
And by the way, I wanted to share this with you. When you open Pandora's box up, like what BLM has done out in Seattle, what happens is you attract other people that are like you. You are not the big dog on the block. Some of these groups, like MS-13 and the Hells Angels and
The Mongols, the
Outlaws,
Outlaws,
and people like that. You think you're bad by running around doing what you're doing. Those groups will kill you. They don't care.
Yes, they will.
They just don't care. So,
Well,
I just you're opening Pandora's box up because what you're doing is you're saying I'm the big man on the block, and you're poking somebody else's ego with it. So, without law enforcement, it is whoever is the strongest is going to take that over. So, if you think that you are the only organizations in this country that's capable of doing stuff like that, you're sadly mistaken. And once you started something and you start taking away the police force, who else is coming for you because you are the big guy on the block?
Right.
Can I ask a stupid question?
Sure.
What if this was done by some 3%er group or right-wing?
We talked about that too.
What are we talking about?
How would it be different in the big media and
Oh.
everything else?
Yeah, he's talking about
If Americans took over for American values,
Took
Right.
over
for
for that.
constitutional
Well,
values,
here's
Good question. We talked about that too.
Here's the
Repeat
thing.
the question.
The thing that's going to be seen is differently. The first thing is going to be said that is every single one of these people are racist. They're white supremacists. They're right wing extreme wackos, like they did with guess who. This happened a couple of years. That's happened 5 years ago, 6 years ago, with a guy named LeVay.
Lavoy, yeah.
Lloyd,
Finnegan was killed, literally, by FBI agents. Literally killed. His family won lawsuits about it. Nobody here ever hears anything about it. This was all over cattle land that they had the rights to, that Harry Reid's son had dealings with, and they were trying to take it away from him. They barricaded themselves in government buildings. They were armed, and everybody went absolutely crazy about the right-wing nuts. Well, the right-wing nuts showed up with AR-15s and stood their ground. Finally, all of it ended, and it ended with the FBI chasing this guy down and basically killing, executing him.
I didn't mean to interrupt. We've got breaking news. Mr. Mitchell Gunner has just now joined us. Welcome back, Mitchell.
All right.
What you got for us, brother?
Go ahead and let you know that SWAT has been activated for the city of Gainesville. Supposedly 1,000 protesters are saying that they're going to take over Gainesville PD tonight at some time. So they have activated them.
What? Why are we still here?
Why are we still here?
Oh, wait a minute. They're going after Poe. Never mind.
So they have activated.
That's why I was wondering where you were going. Okay.
And that right there came from a very good resource. That's why I'm going ahead and putting it out there. This particular person
There's at least dead bodies in Gainesville.
has a loved one that was activated. So
Just to let you know, you're doing this in the wrong place. Gainesville may be as liberal as they come, but you are surrounded by a bunch of people who will take care of you if you start selling this.
That's exactly right. Wow.
well, what do you expect when you got a
Mayor
that backs Antifa?
Right.
So I mean that's the type of craziness that you will have. And I'll tell you what, city of Gainesville is about the bluest city that there is around these parts. So,
But I can tell you right now, Byron is right, though, and you're right as well. The old boys ain't going to sit back and let this happen. You can believe that.
people's not going to let their,
No,
their property get destroyed.
No.
Not
I can promise
not
you.
down here in the southern states. It's
No.
it's not going to happen. Or should I reframe that and say red states? It is not going to happen.
Southern state.
So-
Mitchell, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I'm sick of hiding from that and listening to nonsense about what's being said now about all of this anyway.
Yeah, well, like I've always said, I don't have no problem with people protesting. Now, if they're going to do it peacefully and they're just going to walk around with signs and do it peacefully like that, then we don't have no problem with it. But once you go beyond to destroy people's property, that's no longer a protest. That's a criminal act, and you should be treated like a chemical. But a criminal.
Well,
Thank
same
you.
thing.
Right.
Chemical castration. Oh, I'm sorry.
But you know, just like Sheriff Grady said, they break into your house, blow them back out.
Yeah. That's it.
I'm just telling you guys, you don't want to do that here.
No, you don't.
You really don't. Sorry.
All right, let's get to some comments here. They also need to learn the definition of autonomous. Yes. You know who said that?
Had to have been Dwight Allen.
It is the wife. Mark, my wife Cassidy and I donated to the food pantry on air on PayPal. I think you meant Jeff. I'll reach out to him.
Thank you so much, Mark. Yes, you did.
Dwight Allen said they are all traitors and need to be dealt with as such. I have seen, this is Vincent Tucker, I've seen a photo of AHA and Mongol together talking. If they get together for that, there's going to be a show going on. Lots of laughs. Talking about the Hells Angels and the Mongols. We've seen that same thing too, and we was hoping that it was true.
I just got it again.
It doesn't now. So I'll donate.
Well, you know what's really
I'll
funny?
donate to the Angels and Mongols if they fit it.
You know what's really funny? We had this. We have the group Antifa, and they infiltrate Seattle, 6 city blocks.
It's BLM.
And guess what? The first thing they do? They build a wall.
Yeah.
But there's so much against of us building a wall to protect our sovereignty. That's totally ridiculous.
Well,
Yeah.
what do communists do?
Yeah.
Oh, we
Keep
build
you
walls.
in.
Oh, that's right. We build
Yeah.
walls to keep people out.
They come up build walls to keep people in.
And I believe what they were telling the citizens who lived there that was in that blocked-in area, those 6 city blocks, that they will support them or they will burn their house down.
Again,
Of course
we just
they
talked
are.
about
That-
that and all
that's-
those businesses.
that's city
Extortion.
limits
This is
limits.
extortion at
But
its finest.
but you know how they get away with it in Seattle?
They're about as liberal as they possibly can
Because they're
be.
very liberal. Not very
Yeah.
many people own guns,
Right.
so they can't protect themselves.
Right.
That's why you don't see that happening too much down in the
Yeah.
southern states.
That's it.
That would be funny.
A lot of your bikers are military trained. We talked about that a little bit. That's just our brother there talking about that. Vincent Tucker, I was always taught when I was a kid there is always someone out there that is bigger and badder than you will ever be. You got that right,
He's
brother.
talking about when I was saying when you form a power void, what happens is you bring in basically the baddest person, and that's who's on top of it.
That's it.
And it's not Black Lives Matter, and it's not Antifa.
Okay. When we were kids, did you ever play King of the Mountain?
Oh yeah.
King of the Mountain. What'd you want to be, Michael? You want to be King of the Mountain. King of the Mountain. And it didn't matter. Hey, Byron, you know what? Let's get heater. And as soon as we get heater, guess what?
Somebody else does
I'm throwing you off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, we're buddies up until that point, right?
Well,
Yeah, and then I throw you off or you throw me.
Yeah.
That's the way it is. The King of the Mountain. What Dwight Allen's saying. The biggest and the baddest. And Vincent Tucker. Whoever's got the stronghold rules. And right now, it happens to be, I don't even want to call them a group.
BLM,
Whatever they
Antifa.
are. Whatever they are. Terrorist to me.
Well, all their money that they're receiving are all coming from the same sources.
Well, of course they are. We talked about one of the major contributors the other day. And I believe if you look into it, you'll probably find a lot of it's coming from the Democrat Party, too.
Yeah.
We know that the majority of them have given money to BLM.
Right.
And I've heard it in the past that they give money to Antifa, too.
Let me
Just gotta
just
prove
real
those.
quick to Dave. Dave, they
Yeah.
say the picture froze. They can hear us, but they say the picture is frozen.
I think it did that.
Did it do it earlier?
Did that earlier.
Okay. We're getting it back. Anyway, if you can still hear us.
It's good now.
Commie is up?
Yeah.
Okay, Commie's running. Gainesville probably invited them. Yep, you're right. Melissa Manning.
Well, I mean, he backed them the other day, so
Yeah.
why not? Why
Why
would you think
Don't think so.
he wouldn't let somebody come in and do that to his own police squads?
Yeah.
Well, I just got another source that just told me that they were at the University of Florida at 441, which is also 13th.
That's correct.
That's where protesters were at just a few minutes ago.
Okay. So you're getting up to date information there. Yeah, keep us coming with that, by the way, as long as we're on. Again, if you just didn't hear, supposedly about 1,000 protesters. Is that what it is?
Yes.
About 1,000
Threatening
protesters.
to take over the police department.
Yeah, threatening to take over the Gainesville Police Department. SWAT has been activated, according to what Mitchell Gunner's told us. So we'll see how that all plays out for everybody. Call the stretchers. Noah Gibbs says, my anger is how the Antifa ruins my British history, and they ruin my beloved Robert the Bruce. Enough with Antifa and their support bases, which makes vets look right-wing for protecting their history.
Why are we talking about
Yeah.
Robert the Bruce and Antifa in the same sentence?
Yeah,
I know enough about Scottish history because I'm part Scottish.
yes.
Know exactly who Robert the Bruce is. What does Robert the Bruce and Antifa have to do with each other?
Yeah, I mean, well, he was saying something about they ruined, I guess Antifa ruined, I guess, Robert the Bruce.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, that's
Well,
what,
how
I
the
didn't.
how the
I
connection
know a little
between-
bit about that
between-
too, and I don't.
14th century Scottish
Scottish
warlord or clan leader,
Yeah, I don't know.
and not like the KKK clan, like the Scottish clan.
Pictures back, they said. We're back. Yes, we are working on it. We're back. Sorry for being really angry. Noah Gibson says, but hey, I'd like, yeah, tell us what you mean with Robert the Bruce. I mean, I'm not sure where you're going there. But anyway, getting on, Byron, we talked about this Seattle thing, and this is a lot of what's going on right now. You're seeing this in a lot of major cities, what we call the blue cities, of course. I like to call them something else, and I'll keep it peachy here for the show.
Communist.
Yeah, okay, yep. And, all right, we're good. But anyway, you're seeing a lot of this popping up all over the country, and pretty soon, somebody, me and Byron's even talked a little bit about this. President Trump's going to have to come out and do something to help take over these cities. I know that should be his responsibility. It's these governors' responsibility and these mayors' responsibilities.
Not now.
But not now. That's exactly right.
That is a foreign army.
Yes.
It basically occupying part of the United States.
Yeah.
They should all be given a chance to surrender. If they don't surrender, they should be shot.
Act of what, Byron?
An act of war.
Yep.
That is an act of war.
What do you think, Dave?
Here's the other thing I'm going to say, Miss Mayor of Seattle. You're letting them do this.
Yes.
You're duplicit in this too. You should be able to be charged the same things that these people are being charged. What's up?
What's up, brother?
Dragonfly Graphic Company in Gainesville, Florida, hands out free Black Lives Matter shirts and face masks.
What a surprise!
And
Yeah.
3,000 people are, I got the actual number, 3,000 people are.
What's the face mask look like?
I don't know.
Never mind. I'll
It
stop.
doesn't matter there. So, but anyway,
I need to go.
Is social distancing going on?
Some ammunition.
yeah, boy, indeed, be ready, wasn't it? Well, we're going to close down the show here.
I just want to mention
Okay.
one thing. I did talk to a lady that we're going to have on the show on the 23rd.
Yeah, it's the 20th.
And I asked her views on what does she think about these blue states across America that is wanting the federal government to come in and bail them out since their buildings have been looted and burned by the federal government. The answer to that question, it ain't going to happen. States are going to have to fend for themselves and find their way to get themselves out of that budget situation of getting everything repaired and back up to normal. And I feel the same way. Why should my tax dollars help out a state that won't even protect its own people or property?
Right.
Because they care more about a narrative than they do their own people. Wake up.
And like I say, also, you mentioned talking about the mayor of Seattle, what their whole situation's going on. Look at Mayor Coe for the city of Gainesville. He supports Antifa.
Yeah.
So what do you think's going to happen? The same type of scenarios is going to happen in the city of Gainesville.
Well, I've got some news for them. Gainesville is not in the middle of a blue state like Seattle is.
Right.
That's going to spread from Gainesville because the people in Gainesville are going to let it spread. And when it starts reaching the outskirts of Gainesville, there is going to be some dead people around this area. And it's not going to be the people they're protecting their homes.
And one thing I would like to see, I don't know why in the world we can't do it. If they can find out that George Soros' money is funding these radical groups, why can't we just freeze his assets?
The answer is, if you follow the money trail from there even further, you'll find that he's funding politicians on both sides. Is the answer to that?
Yeah. Yep.
And if Donald Trump froze him, here we go again with some other crap.
Yeah.
So
It's very true.
and that's not just Democrats. Soros funds everybody. He
Yeah.
foments chaos everywhere,
Everywhere
he
he
goes.
goes.
He tries to get this organization to fight this organization,
Yeah.
and both of these organizations to go after this organization, and
Right.
then the people.
And
Right.
he's a straight up Nazi.
Yep.
And I said it again. I got people got upset with me for that. He is a straight up Nazi.
Final thoughts, bro. Been a great show so far.
This is our country. Things happen to people who invade this country. Bad things. The last country that bombed us, guess what happened to them?
Yeah. I remember that.
Think about that. People in Seattle that are occupying the government building. Because I sure hope it's coming.
David?
Peace on earth, goodwill to men.
David,
You
I
said
wish it was
men.
that easy. Yes, he did.
Those are
And
not-
women.
Those are not women either.
Men, women, and children.
Come on in, Mr. Austin Stevens. Final thought and give us a quick weather report.
Final thought, I am actually tracking the situation going on in Gainesville. Weather-wise, flash flood watch in effect till tomorrow evening at 10 o'clock p.m. Stay away from streams and other waterways as water levels are high, and thunderstorms will continue over the next 36 hours, and they'll be heavy at times. And we're not looking for any heat index values of 100 for the next week. Back to you, David.
All right, Mr. Michael Heater, final thought.
Final thoughts is to echo what everyone has said here. Basically, in a nutshell, people need to recognize that aside from the mainstream media, aside from what you see, aside from what you've heard, you need to cut through all the stuff, dig through the blooming onion or whatever you're going to do, get it down to the core value, and that is exactly what this show was about tonight. This is an attack on American soil. And it needs to be dealt with like anyone else would deal with it on American soil. And I will not apologize for supporting that because I echo what my father said, and I echo what my grandfather would have said, and I echo what I believe our forefathers said. And that is, you want some? Come get some.
In the immortal words of Toby Keith.
Yeah, we'll put a boot in your ass. Mitchell Gunner.
Well, I just want everyone to pray tonight for those officers, and that's part of those SWAT teams over there in Gainesville. It's become a pretty sticky situation if things get out of hand. So let's keep them in our prayer. And I'm speaking to the ones who are out there protesting peacefully. Keep on doing what you're doing. Peaceful protest is the right way to go. A lot of things have been able to be changed through peaceful protesting. One of those was women protesting for their right to vote. Hey, they done it peacefully. Now, it was really, really tough on the women with their husbands and everything for them being out there. A lot of their marriages had split up and stuff, but they believed in it, they protested, and they got it done. So do it peacefully. Please stop destroying monuments all over this country. It doesn't matter what they represent. If you don't like it, you do a petition in your city to have it done, taken down, and do it the correct way. Just don't go in there and destroy something. I mean, I see stuff being destroyed from World War II monuments, Vietnam monuments, just anything.
Civil War monument.
Christopher Columbus.
They were talking about wanting to tear down the Washington Monument.
Yeah, tear down the Washington Monument. I mean, come on, people.
God.
Get a
That would
freaking
result
break.
And
I want to tell you another thing. And I might take some backlash into this, but I tell you what, you come in my home and you try to hurt my family or hurt me, they can stack you up at the front door and put your body in body bags. And another thing, I want to stand up for this country. I want to stand up for that flag because my grandfathers fought for that flag. I've had uncles fought for up underneath that flag. My dad fought up underneath that flag. And you know what? We, the people of the United States, we are the largest military in the world.
Yes,
the
we
people. So, thank you.
Very good, Mitchell. That was really good. When this all first started, gentlemen, and to our audience, this started off with a police officer showing aggressive force against a man that was already down, George Floyd. We all know him. And this is where all this started from. And I understand there's been many of them in the past, but there's also been many white lives that's been taken in the same manner. And it's about a police issue, and police reform was what this was supposed to be about. Now,
because
with
it's
the
getting
peaceful,
overshadowed by stupid people.
you know, you go out there and you protest. Okay, that's your First Amendment right. That Mr. Donald Stevens gave, that Mr. Byron Bagwell's daddy, Mr. Donnie gave, Michael Heater's dad, your grandfather, right? Your grandfather.
Both of them.
Myself, my dad, and the people that serve this great country and serve this great flag has given you. And I can tell you right now, what you're doing now is beyond George Floyd. Way beyond George Floyd. This is not about George Floyd anymore. As a matter of fact, his name has actually been forgotten about in this because of all the rioting, all the looting, and everything else that you're doing. David, are we on?
No, we're on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Whoops. Yeah.
So anyway, sorry about that, folks. We was off there. But anyway, this is way above beyond this now. This is you people. I don't care what you want to call yourselves. This is domestic terrorism.
Hey,
This is domestic terrorism. And I don't even want to say it its best, but this is domestic terrorism as you will ever see it. Taking over police stations, burning down buildings, burning down government buildings, burning down historical monuments, tearing down historical monuments, defacing his. You know why? Because the kids, and I call them kids because I'm older than them, most of these are between 18 and 30 that have gone in through our school systems that has not taught what? History.
American history.
Yes. American
World
history,
history.
world history. They don't understand. They don't understand what they're defacing and what they're tearing down. All they know is this is a way to either do a criminal activity, which a lot of them I know are capable of doing.
David, they've been taught that America is evil. Is what
Well,
the problem is with
right.
this. They have been brainwashed into believing that America is
Right.
evil.
Right.
Every single thing from our past we must atone for.
Right.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It is. It is.
Because guess what history is?
Yeah. History.
it's in the past.
It's in the
It's the
past.
past.
Why do we have history? So we don't tend to repeat it.
That's exactly correct. And I've said that plenty of times on the show that's the whole reason why you shouldn't tear stuff down is you
Yeah.
look upon it and reflect of where we were from
Yeah.
where we are now. And with that not being there because you destroyed it, well, further and further generations will never see that and know
Right.
that was part of our history. And, you know, either it's good or bad.
Right.
You live from the experience.
You live from here, and that's exactly right.
If the true history of Lee was taught anymore, he could be held up as an example of what all of the Southern slave owners should have been doing.
Correct.
But it's not taught that way anymore.
Nope.
And I'm not going to defend Robert E. Lee for doing what he did
Nope.
with what he did with the Civil War and siding with who he did in the Civil War.
Right.
But I am going to tell you this. He's a product of his time. And he didn't own slaves at the beginning of the Civil War.
Right.
He never purchased a slave. He actually freed the slaves that he was given to by his father, inherited from his father,
Right.
before the Civil War started.
Right.
So you're not talking about a man that
Excuse me.
backed slavery. You're talking about a man who fought for his state's rights. Now, you can argue all day long and all night long whether it's a slavery issue or whether it was a states' rights issue. It was a combination of both of them is really what it was, is what that Civil War was about. But there are good examples of that on both sides. There were Northern generals who did not give up their slaves until the actual amendment to the Constitution was passed, which was long after the Civil War ended.
Right.
Slavery was an institution that was basically throughout the world, and it didn't just have to do with blacks; it had to do with whites.
It was all wrong.
It was all races, basically. So, look, it's a horrible institution. It is in the past. There is only one place in this world that exists right now, and that's in Africa.
Right.
Why are we not talking about that? I don't
You know
understand.
what? You know what?
I don't understand why we're not talking about that.
You know
Well, I
what?
can tell you why. Because the countries that are Muslim countries. That's why we're not talking about it, because we can't offend Muslims.
Right.
But they hold slaves. They hold black slaves.
Mm-hmm.
So why can't we have that discussion? I'm tired. I'm really, really tired of the weakness that is being instilled in our nation,
Yeah.
David, that we can't even sit down and talk about issues like that, about people's problems, with their own communities and their own things without being called racist or saying that it's racist.
Or offending them.
Because I'm white, which I've said before.
Right.
Somebody
Please
please
explain what white is.
What is white?
What is white?
I would like to know what white is.
Yeah.
If you call me a Caucasian, I'm going to tell you you're full of it because I am nowhere near a Caucasian. I'm not Anglo-Saxon, or at least not the majority of me, not Anglo-Saxon. So, I mean, you want to define white? Well, what about the Native American side? I just wish somebody would think about things like this before we start talking about all of this stuff. But it's ingrained so much in people's heads now that it's automatic, just like that. And quite frankly, I'm sick of it. Because I haven't done anything to anybody, and I would never hold anybody in slavery.
Right.
And I have friends of different colors.
Right. Let me ask you this. Here we go. Dave, all you guys. There's something Brian said brought it to my attention. Who should really be mad about this whole thing? Who's the oppressed people that really should be mad about this whole thing? Who?
Indians. But again, are we a nation that's dumb enough to start a new civil war?
No.
Because we were offended by the first one?
That is good, and that's exactly right.
And remember, our oaths do not have an expiration date.
Well,
That's right.
And the whole thing is, these groups are using George Floyd's death for their advantage and their own personal
That's it.
advantage.
That's what I want to
That-
do.
that's That exactly what's going on. Pretty much like the Democratic Party. I might offend somebody, but I'm sorry. But they never let a crisis go to waste.
Yep. Yeah.
So there you go.
Oh my God.
Good. This has been a great show, ladies and gentlemen. I tell you. Any update before we go on the SWAT? Still saying?
No, I haven't seen anything posted on anything else.
ASO's joining.
Are they?
ASO? Okay.
Okay.
And it won't surprise me if they'll call out to the surrounding counties like Bradford, Union, Putnam, Clay for extra people to come in and help them with the situations. Yeah. I won't be surprised if I get called in because our county buildings are very close to City Hall, and the police department's right down the road.
I know how they feel about firearms on property inside.
And I have them.
I would not go in without a firearm.
Yeah.
I could just refuse and say, "Hey, I'm not getting caught up in that situation."
That's exactly
right.
I mean, I was going to say that's exactly what I do. If you don't feel comfortable doing it,
Really?
On behalf of Byron Bagwell, Mr. Carlson Stevens with the weather, Mr. Dave Holland producing, Mr. Michael Heater, the Dragon Slayer, directing and sitting in for Mitchell Gunner. Mitchell Gunner joining us right here. My name is David Rodgers. On the spot this Tuesday night, we'll have Chrissy Thompson from the Downtown Grill with us and some other great topics that we'll be discussing. Again, have a great Saturday night. Have a great rest of the weekend. And we will see you Tuesday night right here on the spot with David Rodgers. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Good night, everybody.